Hello and welcome to my channel. Some of you have actually asked me how we can go and upload multiple worksheets from the same Excel file. This is in continuation uh, as a question that was been asked when I uploaded the Excel, how to upload Excel in RAP with a normal thing with multiple data types. So since I have been getting those queries, here I am today with yet another video on how you can upload multiple worksheet from a same Excel file. Now this could be two different uh, formats using the two different database table that you need to fill and stuff like that. Or you can actually have one sheet that will have a sales order data, second sheet that will have a purchase order data, which you can then process and create sales order data using sheet number 1 and um, purchase order data using sheet number 2. So depending on whatever is your scenario, there might be instances where we actually get the Excel data in multiple worksheets, and this is a very common scenario that we face day in and day out uh, in normal ABAP as well. So here I am today with yet another difficult scenario situation. Hope you like it. I would request you to please hit the like button just so that it will be shown to the others. So let us first understand what is that we are going to do. So let me first go and show you what is the kind of data that I have prepared. Okay. So let me just show you the data, the Excel data that I have actually prepared. Now, since I already have this contact uh, data with me, so I have two sheets here. As you can see, one sheet is contact, which will have the same format as earlier what we had, right? For our contact, the Excel upload that we have seen earlier, which will have first name, middle name, last name, gender, date of birth, telephone, and email. At the same time, I have also created one more sheet with the student detail. Okay, I've just taken as example, which will have only four columns: full name. The name is not first name, middle name, and last name, but full name completely, gender, date of birth, and date of joining. Okay, these are the two uh, additional data that we are going to now go and upload. Okay, so first let us go and understand how this application work. In my browser, let me just go back, and I have just created using a create, okay, one record. Let me delete this also first, and we can create a fresh one with a create. As soon as I create, okay, a file ID will be generated, a username will be given as usual what we have seen earlier. Now here in the Excel upload, now this time if you see, I have actually gone and created two facets, one for contact and one for student. Okay, student name, gender, date of birth, date of joining, and status. Similarly, first name, middle name I have not shown, last name, gender, DOB, telephone, and status. Okay, so now this time what will happen is we will be having two types of data that we will be reading from the single Excel file. Okay, that's the whole idea. And as we have seen, our Excel has two sheets, one for contact, one for a student. So let me go and select my Excel, and that Excel is student contact underscore student underscore upload data XLS. Okay, And now this time I am just saying upload the data. Okay. And what it will do is it will go read all the formatting and everything. The format will be read for each and every tab. All those things I have already created. I don't want to get into all those things agar how you should go read the first line, do the validations of the header column and stuff like that. If you want to know that, you can visit my earlier Excel upload in RAP, that video, or Excel upload with multiple data types in RAP. Any one of that will show you how you can actually go and validate the header. So format checks and everything will be done. I'm not showing you here the format checks with this particular thing. Okay, rather I am just showing you that okay, this whole thing is now actually read, and you see contact will have 3 records that has been read, and a student will have 2 data that has been read. Now I have not gone and process this particular thing. I have not gone and done any processing here with this particular uh, scenario. You can actually go and do all those processing that is required, right? You can actually create your own um, actions here to process the contact data, create your contact, send an email, whatever you want to do, you can do that. This video is specifically just to show you how you can go and upload multiple worksheet. Okay, so let us now go to our Eclipse and see what are the things that we have done, what we need to do. So let me now go to Eclipse and show you what we have to do in Eclipse in order to achieve this whole functionality. So let me start in Eclipse by showing what I have done. So the first thing that I have gone and created, as usual, what we need is the dictionary object. So database table. As usual, I have created a database table for my user, similar to what we have in our other videos, right? So it will have the end user file ID that will be generated, file status, and it will have attachment, MIME type, and file name. And of course, last change I had just to have the e tag functionality in place. Similarly, this will also have a draft table created with just an admin field added at the end. Okay, I'm not going through this. If you want to understand more on the draft functionality, you can watch my earlier videos on uh, how to implement draft in a transactional app. Okay. Now, similarly, the second thing that I have gone and created is the our contact, Excel contact. So this GMS Excel contact will have the same end user file ID and contact ID. Then the first name, middle name, last name, same as it is that we had earlier, right? Gender, DOB, age, telephone, email, and of course the draft functionality for it with d underscore contact d contact gms underscore excel underscore d contact for draft. It will have just one admin field again there, and the final one is the student. So the student will have only end user id, file id, that is actually linked to our user. Now student key, student ID, that will generate full name, gender, date of birth, date of joining, and active flag. Okay, these are the 3 tables that I have gone and created in our database as the first thing. Now, once this database is done, we just go and as usual we will create the interface for all those 3. So GMSI Excel interface. Similarly, for one for contact and one for student. Okay, all the 3 I have created. And once I created, then I have actually gone and added a composition to my parent, which is my Excel user, to my contact and student. Both of them I have written the composition. Okay. And in individual interface, I have just added association to parent to the user using the end user and file ID. In both the case, this is the same thing that we have been doing multiple times. I don't want to get into all those things again. Okay, so hope you understand this very easily. Similarly, for our projection view now, let me go and show you in my projection view. Again, the same thing. See Excel for user projections with GMS underscore C underscore Excel student for student and for contact. Now, how this is linked is using redirected to composition child for each of the projection entity. Contact will go to contact projection entity, student will go to student project entity. Similarly, in the individual projection entities, I'm redirecting it to the parent, which is user in both the scenarios. Okay, once this is done, our creation of our entities are done. Okay, now once the entities are done, we need to actually define the metadata extension for the same, and that metadata extension you can actually see by defining the metadata extension here. I have just taken the normal whatever we had except removing the data point reference now and just added a normal line item and identification whatever is needed here. I want to just keep it very uh, non-fancy thing. If you want to understand what this data point reference is and stuff like that, you can watch my earlier video. Okay. Now, similarly for my student and my contact, I have just gone and added one facet each for contact, and just line item and identification is what I have given there, right? So that it can be shown. Similarly for my student also same thing, one facet to display the details, and whatever is needed there as a line item and identification I have just added there. That's it. Pretty much same what we had already for our earlier Excel upload, but this time there will be two metadata extension that will be created because we are having two child entities or two associated entities in our composition tree. So one Excel user as a parent entity, along with it we have two associated entities, child entities, one for contact and the second one for student. Okay, once that is done, we will go and define the behavior, and we will definitely be having only one behavior because we have only one root entity, that is user. Now in this user, again the same thing I have kept. Everything is similar, right? Same numbering, early numbering we are using because we are going and generating our end user name, filling it the end user file ID, we will be generating file status, we are changing, right? All those things will be all already the same. Okay, action upload, fill file status, selected file, fill selected status. Whenever the file is selected, the status has to be changed. All those things will be pretty much exactly the same what we have been using. The only change now that will come up will be on the Excel upload Excel data. Now in the upload Excel data, right, we are going to actually now process two sheets together. So the whole structure of our upload Excel data will be now changed because the processing logic is completely changed. Okay, so now let me also show you the projection behavior definition. It will be pretty easy. Just use the actions, use the association, and that's it. Important thing that we need to remember here is use draft and use side effects that you need to actually go and show code in. If you don't use the side effect, all those um, entities, that is actually when you select the file name, the if already uploaded, that data should be refreshed and everything will not happen, right? So those side effects we are using it here, and once that is been done, just projecting our business in our service definition in business service layer, I am just projecting all the three: our user as Excel user, our contact as Excel contact, and student as Excel student. Finally, a service binding of OData V4 protocol has to be created. So OData V4 UI is what I have created. And as you can see, Excel contact is having the parent child association or a composition to Excel user. Both Excel contact and Excel student is having uh, the composition to user, and user is having to both of them, right? And this is where you can actually preview your things. Now, once we have actually defined this, right, everything is going to work fine except for the processing logic that we are going to actually implement. And that is the reason I have just implement only one class in our behavior pool, and that is only this class. And if you come and see this class, I have not, it is yellow in color, right? So if you go here to your winding, it says CLBPX Excel upload contact does not exist and student does not exist. I don't need it, guys, at this point in time, because I am not going and showing you the processing of each and everything. So that is not needed. Pretty much um, okay to not have that implemented also. Okay. So let us now understand this particular our upload Excel action. Okay. So that will be in our this class, behavior pool class. And in the behavior pool on the global class section, this time I have created two structures. Total four structures I have created. One is to get the Excel data all with type string. And the second one is the actual contact that will go and define each and every field as the database type, the field type, the data element and everything, data type, length, everything will be taken from the database. And why we are going to create these two? If you don't understand, please visit again my video on uploading Excel with multiple data types. There I have explained why we need two. Okay. Similarly, I have just gone and created again the Excel uh, structure for student and the actual structure for student as well. Okay, that's it. So this is been defined as a global types for us that we can go and use in our local types. So in our local handler class, the local type section, as usual, everything will be there: early numbering, upload Excel data, fill status. Okay, convert data, calculate age also is been taken, because that is what we need when we actually upload the contact data. Based on the date of birth, the age should be calculated. And dates we are converting from taking from the string to a date format by removing uh, the dots from the things and making it YY, and DD format, where in our Excel file we always give dd.mm.yyyy, right? Now, apart from that, what I have done is now all my functionality, like if you all have already read the data and now you are trying to re-upload another file on the same record, the old data should be removed, and this should be done for both the entities now, right? So what I have done is, wherever there is a probability, I have just gone and used the modularization technique. So I have created a delete existing data and replace existing data. These two methods I have actually gone and added. Okay. Similarly, our Excel data will now be, first thing is read the Excel data. Okay. That is what we need. Then it will go and upload the contact data. Okay. And similarly upload the student sheet. So what it will do, it will read the data, Excel data first, keep it ready for us to actually go and process sheet by sheet. Then it will go and read the contact sheet, fill the do the validations and everything, and similarly it will do the same thing for our student as well. Okay, once, and for validating the Excel contact, I have now created a separate method for validating the contact header as well as the student header. Finally, filling the contact data and filling the student data, I have created a separate thing. And of course, to check the header, I have just defined a local constant that we can use to actually read the corresponding header and try to match it with the Excel header that we have. Now remember that this I am always taking it as all caps, because we are giving that liberty to the end user that even if the, say for example, gender can be G capital E N D E R, instead of that in my Excel file you might have seen that it is G small E N D E R. So I am giving that leverage. As long as the spelling is correct, we are considering it as the correct proper format. Okay. Similarly, I have gone and created one more structure or a constant structure for student as well. Okay. Finally, I have defined some of the uh, uh, data objects for getting my keys, my file entity, because the there will be only one record of Excel user that we are processing at a time, and then it will go and fill GT Excel and GT Excel contact and GT Excel student. That will be similar to what we have in our global type for Excel. So this will have the Excel data in all in string format, and GT data contact and GT data student will be having the actual data with the actual data type. Okay. Now early numbering is exactly the same, no change in there. We just loop in, fill in the end user by creating getting the end user name using this ABAP context info, get user technical name method, which is a static method that SAP provides, that will give me the username, user ID basically that I'm filling in. Similarly, I'm creating one GUID for my file ID and proceeding. Now, this fill file status is generally used to change the status, right? File not selected, or when you actually go and create, file not selected will be put in that particular status. Once the file is selected, if the file is already selected, then it will say file not selected. If not, then it will say file not selected. Okay, everything that is required. Now in this case also I am going and deleting the existing data. Okay, now what does this delete existing data will do? Let us go and see what it does. It will just read the associated entity. Okay, read entities of the main entity by the associated entity, backslash underscore associated entity. Okay, and if we are getting it, then I am just deleting it from the entity. Now if you want to understand how this read entities works, I would request you to go and watch my complete EML series where I have explained you all the EML statements in great details there. So just go and watch that series as well so that you understand how this works. Now I'm just reading this associated entity and deleting. Similarly, I'm reading the student and deleting it. That's it. Okay. Now once this is done, I am just reading the Excel user and changing the file status. Okay. Similarly, this delete existing data we have just seen. Okay. Replacing we will come in a bit. Convert date we have seen in our earlier video. Just convert the string to a date format and pass it back. Calculate age will be calculating the age based on the date of birth. Okay, now this is where the actual processing will happen, guys. Okay, this upload Excel data is the main method that we need to go and fill in. Now, how this will work? What I have done here is I have just checked get the file directly in GT file entity. Now, this is a global internal table, guys. Okay, I don't want to keep on reading Excel user again and again. And now I am checking whether the attachment, the file name is selected, yes or no. If the file name is not selected, then I will say select the file to upload and just return. If it is selected, I am moving the keys also to GT keys, because sooner or later I will be needing these keys, right, to read different entities. And what I am now doing is I am just saying that, okay, call the upload Excel contact sheet. If it is ABAP true, that means the Excel sheet will do the formatting of the and checking the format, and if there is a format error, it will return me failed as false, for failed as true. And if that is returning true, that means there is some error with the format, and I'm just saying the wrong format. Okay. Similarly, if in case of student also, I'm doing the same thing. Okay. Now, how this will be doing? Upload Excel contact sheet and upload Excel student sheet. There are two methods that I have created. Now, they both are different, right? But if you see, if you read the Excel sheet, right? Now, in both the sheets, all the initial reading the Excel file, reading the sheets and everything, right? Sheet data will be pretty much the same. Again, I have actually gone and modularized this by calling the read Excel sheet. Okay. Now, you can actually have it this way, or you can have it this way as well. They both are same, guys. Okay. What I'm doing here for my student, I'm just reading the Excel sheet. If there is no failure, then you validate the Excel student header. If that is passed, then only you go and fill the student data. Similarly, if you see here, read the Excel data. If that is above false, then only you go and validate the contact header. If the contact header is correct, then go and fill the contact data. Same thing I am doing there as well. Don't get confused. I have shown you both the ways. Whatever is easy for you, you can choose to actually do it. This is a powerful if conditions, because we don't need to keep on checking the return flag every time. Okay. And the line of code will also be very less. Now read Excel sheet. Similar to here, read Excel sheet. I'm just passing the sheet number, whether first sheet or second sheet. Depending on that, the read Excel sheet will be there. Now, this reading of this Excel sheet, right? You might have seen already we are using XCOCP XLSX to read the uh, Excel file. And soon I will be actually posting one more video by how you can actually go and upload the CSV file. There a different interface will be given to us. Now this interface will go and provide the read access, and it will give me an Excel object back. Using that Excel object, I will say get workbook, worksheet, all get. This get function, get method will actually return me the number of worksheets. And if this worksheet is not equal to exactly 2, then I know that there is a problem, because as of today, my Excel sheet should have 2 and 2 worksheets only, right? If not, then I'm just saying RV failed and returning back. If it is not an error there, that means we have two, then I'm just going and getting the worksheet with the sheet number passed. It can be sheet number 1 or sheet number 2. Depending on the sheet number that is been passed, I am getting my worksheet, and using that worksheet, I am just selecting all the using the selection pattern from A1 to to the default value that it stores. Now, what I am doing is I am just referencing my Excel contact if sheet number 1 is passed to GT Excel contact, or if it is 2, then I am saying GT Excel student. This will actually fill the proper either Excel student or Excel contact um internal table that we have defined, and that is of type all the fields as a string field, and then lo execute will execute and give me the data back. Once this data is given back, it will fill in GTXL contact first time, second time it will fill GTXL student. So first time when we are coming for the first sheet, this will be filled in, and then it will go here back again. Okay, there is no error. So validate the contact header. Now this time contact header validation, same thing. I am just reading the GTXL contact, getting the components, and for those many components, I'm just reading the first record. If this is not giving me back any data, means the sheet is empty, then also I'm saying that okay, the file is correct, file is okay with two sheets, but there is a problem with my header. Okay, and I'm returning back, and then it will display wrong format. Similarly, if there is no issue there, if I'm able to read line number 1, then I'm just reading the component and checking whether they both are equal, yes or no. Remember, I'm just converting it to uppercase so that the header, even though it is upper lower, we still match it. And then finally, first record I am deleting, and the second and all the records where the first name and last name is initial, I am deleting, because you can have uh, some some rows without actual data there, right? Similarly, when we go back, right, once that is done, validate Excel contact. Similarly, read Excel data will read sheet number 2 and validate Excel student. Again, the same format, no change, except this is now actually considering and taking it from student column header and matching it. Okay, once that is done, validation is done correctly. Now filling the Excel contact data and filling the Excel student data, that is the last process that we have to go and do. Now once in our student data, our contact data, again I am just reading that describe table. This also I wanted to actually modularize by creating two different uh, table and structure description. You can actually just go and create two global parameters that you can use and use it only one time, because this whole thing is also getting repeated, guys, which I don't like, but I didn't have that much of time to go and get into that. But you can still modularize it wherever there is a probability. Go and modularize the data. Okay, now once that is there, just I have already filled in my GTA Excel contact, which I'm reading into a line, and then just each and every component I am just passing the value. If it is the first column, pass it to first name, middle name, last name. Now likewise for the date, I am converting it to the date of birth. Age I am calculating here, and finally I am filling the GT data contact, which is of entity type, which will have CID reference, all those other fields, right? And target will be filled using our LT actual data that we are filling it here. From LT actual data, GT data contact will be filled in with all the values here. You see contact ID, first name, middle name, last name, everything with the control structure there. Similarly, the fill student Excel student data is pretty much the same. Again, same thing, get it from the GT Excel student. And for each and everything, here we have only 4 columns. One is full name, gender, date of birth, and date of joining as date format that we are converting, putting it into actual data. And then from actual data, this time the data will go to GT data underscore student. Okay. So both the data is now been filled. Once that is been filled, right, our upload contact, our upload data will be called for both of them one after the other. So contact sheet will be, there is no error, data will be read in. Similarly, for our student also, data will be read in. Once that is been done, what we have to do is I am again deleting any existing data. If there is any data in that child node or the composition node, I am deleting that existing data, and this is again I am getting it two times. That's the reason I have just created one thing, and now replacing also with the new data. Now new data I have already in my GT data contact and GT data student, which I am just going and creating new entries by using modify entity EML, using a create by association clause, right? So modify entities, create by association is what you have to use. This EML you have to use to create. Okay. And finally, I'm just changing the file status to file uploaded, and this whole entry I already have taken in my GT file entity. Using that TKY, I'm just changing it, right? Pretty much easy and pretty much the same that what we were doing earlier. And finally, once that data is been done, I am just passing that data back to the front end by putting it into the result. I'm reading the updated structure into LT updated Excel user, and everything that is needed I am just passing it to my param. That is the reason it was showing the updated file status, updated entity sheets and stuff like that. One more thing that you should remember is that this particular side effects is actually going and showing us the data back in those particular thing, right, in the complete thing. Okay. I hope this was self-explanatory. I will try to post the code as well for you guys. Uh, I have tried my best to make you guys understand. If go practice it with at least two sheets for now, understand how we can actually go and modify the code, tweak the code in order to make it more modularized, so that say similar functionalities can be used and no need to code it again and again, right? And also, please do subscribe to my channel, share this video to all the contacts that you know, so that all the other uh, people who have recently coming into RAP, they get benefited out of it. Okay. With that, I would like to stop here, requesting you to please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon and enjoy the videos. Thank you and happy learning.